What if there are 5 retirement assets that never appear on any statement that you have ever received? Assets that can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, assets that the market cannot crash, assets that many people in this audience already own. And most people never ever count them. That's what this video is all about. And by the end, I'm going to ask you one question about your retirement that most financial advisors will never ask. The answer, whatever it is, should change whatever you do next as you get ready for retirement. But first, I want to show you something about the way most people count retirement wealth that is leaving a significant part of the picture out. By the end of this video, every one of those boxes gets filled. I want you to think about 2 people. Both are 65 years old. Both have $400,000 saved, exact same portfolio, same account balance. The first person owns their home free and clear, has no consumer debt, is in good health, and has a skill that generates income a few hours every week, and has a strong network of friends, family, and community around them. The second person is carrying $1,800 a month in consumer debt, has chronic health issues that are getting more and more expensive, stopped working with no income plan, and has become increasingly isolated since leaving their career. Same $400,000, but a completely different retirement. The difference between those 2 people, it's not their account balance. It's the assets that never showed up on a statement. Here's the working definition I want you to carry through the rest of this video. An asset is anything that reduces your cost, generates income, protects your health, or extends your options. By that definition, most people approaching retirement are significantly wealthier than they even think, and not one asset on this list is subject to market volatility. Not one. Asset 1. Enter retirement with 0 consumer debt, no car payments, no credit card balances, no personal loans. Here's what that actually does to your math. Let's say you're carrying $1,800 a month in consumer debt payments, car loans, credit cards, whatever it is, and you're drawing from a retirement account earning 5% annually. You're going to need an additional $360,000 in that account just to sustain those payments for, let's say, 20 years. $360,000 to pay for things you already bought. Eliminate those payments before retirement, and you just gave yourself the financial equivalent of a $360,000 account balance, and you didn't save a single additional dollar. No investment returns, no product is ever going to deliver that. And the market cannot touch it because it's not in the market. Asset 2, your home. The question is not whether to downsize. The question is whether your current housing situation is working as hard for you as every other asset on this list. A paid off home is a retirement asset worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in avoided costs over 20 years. If moving would cost you 6% in commission, closing costs, and higher property taxes, staying put may be the smarter move. But if you're carrying a mortgage, if your home has maintenance demands that drain your time and money every single month, or if the equity is simply just sitting there doing nothing for your retirement picture, right sizing is worth running the math on. And there's a third path worth considering. Renting strategically, it gives you geographic flexibility, 0 maintenance, and capital that is now fully liquid. Some people sleep better owning. Others sleep better with the freedom of renting. There is no wrong answer, but there is a wrong default. And the wrong default is never asking the question in the first place. If you're working through which of those housing paths makes sense for your specific situation, I've built something that can help. It's called the Brain Flash Retirement Reality Check. It walks you through the full picture, not just the account balance. It's free. Drop your email over at brainflash.com. It comes straight to your inbox. Now, back to the list. Asset 3. Every person in this audience has spent years, in many cases decades. You've solved problems that other people are still struggling with. Most retirement channels will talk about consulting or teaching when they discuss income in retirement. That framing leaves most people out. If you spent 30 years as a nurse, families navigating an aging parent's medical situation would pay for an hour of your time and judgment. If you spent your career in the trades, homeowners who cannot afford a contractor for every single little job will pay someone they trust to tell them what actually needs to be done and what does not. If you manage people for 20 years, small business owners who have never had a real manager are desperate for exactly what you know. The framework is not what you do for a living. The framework is what problems did you solve and who is still dealing with those problems who don't have the benefit of your experience. The gap is where retirement income lives, not a second career, not a 40-hour week. Your schedule, your terms, completely within your control. Asset 4, your health. Not as a wellness goal, as a balance sheet item. Fidelity estimates the average 65-year-old will spend approximately $165,000 on healthcare in retirement. The CDC reports that 90% of all healthcare spending in this country goes toward treating chronic conditions, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis. Most chronic conditions are significantly influenced by the choices you make every single day. Now, here's the number I want you to sit with. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related death among adults over 65. The average cost of a fall-related hospitalization exceeds $30,000. A hip fracture, almost always fall-related, averages more than $40,000 to treat. And if recovery requires in-home help, which it frequently does, professional in-home care currently runs $25 to $35 an hour, and that's in your lower cost Midwest areas. Go to either West or East Coast, and it's a lot more than that. Full-time in-home care, that's going to run you $50,000 to $70,000 every year. Your muscle strength and balance training, look, it's not a fitness goal, it's fall prevention, which is cost prevention, which is retirement security. The market cannot price your physical capacity, but the absence of it has a very specific dollar figure, and you just heard it. Asset number 5. And this one will surprise you coming from a retirement channel. Your relationships, your friendships, your grandchildren, your community, your faith. I'm not saying this because it sounds good. I'm saying it because the research is absolutely unambiguous. Harvard University has been tracking the same group of people for more than 80 years. It's the longest study of adult life ever conducted. Their central conclusion after 8 decades of data is that the quality of your relationships predicts your health in later life more reliably than your wealth. A separate analysis found that social isolation increases mortality risk by approximately 29%. Not quality of life, mortality. The Alzheimer's Association has documented that regular social engagement is associated with meaningfully lower rates of cognitive decline, independent of other health factors. The financial conclusion? It's direct. People who are present in their grandchildren's lives, active in their community, connected to a faith tradition, invested in real friendships. Those people show better cognitive health, longer lifespan, and significantly lower lifetime healthcare costs. No market correction can affect your friendship with a person you've known for 30 years. No interest rate decision changes are the same thing as what it means to your grandchild that you showed up. No recession reduces the value of belonging to something larger than yourself. These are not soft benefits They are documented, they're measurable, they're financially consequential. So here's the complete picture. No consumer debt, $360,000 of runway that never appears on a statement. A housing decision made intentionally, not by default. The income your knowledge and experience can generate on your terms, your health, treated as an actual balance sheet item, relationships, community, and faith, your cognitive health and longevity protected by the people around you. Now, throw in Social Security, timed intentionally, and your 401k as one component of a diversified and resilient picture, and ask yourself, when is the last time you checked any of those assets on CNBC? You did not, because they do not live there. They live in the decisions you make every day, in the relationships you invest in the knowledge you continue to apply, in the body you choose to take care of. The retirement available to you is significantly larger than your last account statement suggested. 2 videos in. Video 1, how the retirement system changed and the 5 moves that work within it. This video, 5 assets outside the market that are entirely yours to build. Video 3 is going to be the final piece, and it may be the most important one, because everything we have discussed in both videos can be significantly protected or significantly eroded by one decision most people make by default: the tax decision. I want you to consider something. The national debt crossed $39 trillion in May of 2026. That's approximately $115,000 for every man, woman, and child in the United States. Roughly $290,000 for every single household. Federal interest costs have already exceeded $500 billion through just the first half of fiscal year 2026, and they continue to rise, as older low-rate debt has to be refinanced at current interest rates. Debt held by the public has now exceeded 100% of the U.S. GDP, a milestone that economists watch really, really closely. Throw in Social Security and Medicare funding gaps, add a political system that not once, never, has ever successfully cut entitlement spending. Look, we all need to ask ourselves just one honest question. Do you genuinely believe your tax rate will be lower in retirement than it is today? That question and what you do with that answer is what video 3 is all about. I'll see you in the next one.